All right, good morning, everybody. I just want to start off this video by saying a huge thank you to everyone who watched my last one, left a comment or suggestion, and a lot of the feedback that I got was really good, and a lot of your guys' insights and kind of the things that you have been feeling during this planner season and just this year in general was very insightful. And so I just want to say thank you so much. I love reading everything that you guys have to say and suggestions that you guys make, so I just want to say thank you guys. I feel like since last video I am kind of on the other side of things, which feels really nice. I think after I filmed that video, when I had watched it back and was editing it and then uploaded it and watched it and then read all your guys' comments, I had a lot of light bulb moments even after that. I feel much more calm and kind of composed this week, and this was a very, very busy week for me work-wise, and I still feel so much better than I did a week, 2 weeks ago compared to now. So I have a little bit of an update for you guys. It's not going to be anything too crazy because it has only been 1 week, but we are here and we are back in the cousin, which is very exciting. I don't know. To sum it up, it just feels kind of like coming home, and my transition back into this book has felt very natural and very easy, which is nice. And there's been kind of no learning curve really for it. So I did purchase mine off of Amazon, and I actually did get the black gingham Han, and the reason I did that is just because at the time on Amazon it was on like a huge massive sale, so I got it for really cheap, probably because we only have 4 months left. But I did get the Hone. All the Avex from July to December were sold out where I was from, and I just didn't want to wait that long. So I did get the Hone. I have it in the Have a Nice Day cover from last year, just to be able to keep it closed when I have it in my bag and things like that. I don't think this is going to be my forever cover, and I'm looking at something different. But for right now, we have her in here. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a quick flip through and kind of explain, not explain, but kind of just show you guys where I'm at and how things have been going. But before we actually get into the actual book, I want to say another huge thank you to Analuisany, who is sponsoring today's video. If you guys have watched my previous videos, I did a partnership with them back in May, and it was actually for this ring and my bracelet, which I literally wear every day. I never take these off. If you guys have seen my videos, I love wearing rings and I love wearing jewelry, and it just makes me feel very fancy and put together. And when my life is a wreck, if my hands are pretty, then like I'm doing okay. So these are the 3 pieces that I got last time from Analuisany. I love them. I never take them off. Let me take this one off. And I mentioned it in my previous video, but the quality is something that I've been super, super impressed with. You will never catch me taking this on and off every day, especially with these nails. I just could not be bothered to take this off. So the fact that she is wearing good, she hasn't broken, my hand's not green, all of that just speaks volumes, and I get a lot of compliments on my jewelry a lot. And then my most recent pieces that I got for them is actually 2 new bracelets. I have mentioned this before. I'm not insecure about my hands or like my wrist, but I did have surgery on my wrist like exactly a year ago, and then I just have like very small hands, and I feel like they just look very strange when they're like naked. And so I've been wanting to get more bracelets recently, and so these are the 2 new ones that I picked up. This one is like this really cute flower and pearl one. It's super dainty. Again, I don't take this one off. I wear it in the shower, I wear it to bed, I wear it all day long, and she's been holding up really great, and I just think she's really cute. And then this is the other one I got, which is like an adjustable, I don't know, not a bangle bracelet, but almost like a cuff bracelet, if that's the right terminology. And that one I keep just a little bit higher. This one sometimes I do take off at night just because when I lay on it and it like rubs up against my bone, it's a little uncomfy. But those are the two new pieces that I got from Ana Luisa, and I love them so much, and I definitely recommend them. I think jewelry is just a great self-care item for me personally, and it's something that just makes me feel a little bit more put together, like I have my shit together when I definitely don't. So thank you to Ana Luisa so much. I will have a link at the top of my description box. They have a couple sales going on here pretty soon, and if you happen to use my link or decide to use my link, please let me know so I can personally thank you a million times. And I'm sure I'll be getting more pieces from them in the future just because I really, really enjoy them. So that's that. But now let's move into the books. So I have some of my sticky notes and stuff that I moved over here that I've kind of always moved over from book to book. I do not plan on backfilling these pages at all. If anything, I might start fresh in September, but I don't know if I want to do that yet. I don't know if I want to put the extra effort in right now. I think I'm kind of just trying to take things easy on myself. So this is blank for now. This is my son's school schedule. I did go through and backfill all of my monthly calendars. I didn't do any of like my favorite quotes of the month or anything on the side, but I did go through and backfill all of my appointments, days I posted videos, events, birthdays, and those things. And then all of these lines that you see are when I started a book and completed a book. So I just kind of tracked my reading that way in here, and I like how that looks. And you'll see as the months pass, my reading has slowed down a lot. I haven't been reading as much just because I've been very busy and I've been in a little bit of a book slump, but that's what those lines mean. July was insanely busy, as was August. I'm very glad August is over, or almost over. August was a great month, a really awesome month, but I'm ready for September for sure. And then something I think I want to do or start doing in my monthly calendars is start highlighting the like weeks that we're on, or I guess the previous week. So when I'm doing my weekly planning, when I reference this page, it's really easy for me to just see what week we're on, and then as the weeks pass, I'll highlight them. So I'm going to try that in September, maybe with a different color, just so it's a little easier to see. But that's something a little new that I'm doing that I like. So those are the monthly calendars. September is my 1 year of Tori on paper, the last day of September, the 30th. So that's gonna be an exciting video coming up soon. And then September is also my 9-year anniversary with my fiance, my husband, which is really exciting. So very excited for this month and just feeling a lot better moving into it overall. And then we will go to the weeklies. So I don't plan on doing any backfilling. I don't want to give myself extra work or stress right now. I literally just want to kind of move into this like I've always been in it. So I did receive this book that Thursday or Friday of last week, I believe. I'm using my book very similarly to how I used my cousin last year. I didn't want to change up too many things or make too many drastic changes because it obviously worked for me last year, and so I don't want to change the entire system up just because I really want to hone in on like what is working for me. So basically every day I do like a little sentence of the day, journal of the day, just what's happening, how I'm feeling, anything exciting going on. And then I've also been adding in events and appointments into my weeklies, which is a little bit different, but I actually really like this. So you can see like right here, I put my staff training and I just highlighted it. So I am a weekly planner. I think when you look at my book and when you look at my previous cousin, a lot of people mention that it looks like I just journal and I don't do a lot of planning, but I actually do like a majority of my planning in my weekly and my monthly sections, and then a lot of my journaling is going to be in my daily and kind of my weekly, but I'm really just like talking about my day in here. These entries really never are like my feelings or things like that. It's kind of like what's going on. So in my brain, it's kind of planning. but I have these little signifiers in the week just so I know what's coming up, and that's been really helpful. Finally did a sketch, which I haven't done, it feels like, in months in my book. Just trying to like put pen to paper, put paint to paper, and practice my art again. And then I just added like a little Starbucks receipt, and then I have my work to-dos, my little task list over here on the right side, which is something I also did last year in my cousin, and it's just the little Alistair method. I just do Monday through Saturday. I don't track to-dos on Sundays. Sundays are like a free-for-all day for me, so I only do Monday through Saturday, and a lot of this is just work to-dos. And this has been going really well, and obviously we're only, you know, like 1 week into this, 7 days, so I don't want to speak too soon. And I know every book that I've used this year, I've said the same thing, like, oh, this is so great, this feels so great. But I think with my history with the cousin and just using it so consistently in the past, I feel like my feelings are kind of valid this time, and saying that this feels really good, this feels sustainable for me, but it also feels like motivating to make me want to do more. So it's looking like we're gonna be going into a cousin for 2025, which is really exciting because launch day is literally this weekend. I think you can start, at least in the US, you can buy your items tomorrow, Saturday, which if you're watching on Saturday, that's today. And I'm just really excited, and it feels good to be back in the cousin. Again, it feels like coming home in a sense, and it kind of feels a little bit full circle. And I feel like some of these things that I've added into my weeklies are a culmination of all the previous books that I've used this year, along with what I was doing in my cousin in 2023. So it feels very full circle. It feels great so far. So that's how this week looks. And then I use the daily pages for extra journaling. So if this isn't enough for me, or I want to write about something, then that's where I'm doing it. Something that I've learned about myself is that I need daily pages. I don't like when they're completely blank grid. I like having the dates on here, but I don't like following the dates. And I think for me, it is just a lot less intimidating for me to open up this page and write or draw or whatever in here versus like a completely blank grid page. Like for me, let's see, this is way more intimidating than this is. And so I think I finally figured my brain out a little bit, or at least for where I'm at in life right now, is that I do like having daily pages. I like the Japanese version more, so that's probably the one I'll get for 2025. But this works a lot better for me when it comes to journaling and sketching and things like that, just because it feels, I don't know, less blank and scary. So I will usually date my entries like in the writing that I'm doing them, but sometimes I don't really care either. So these are the past entries that I've done. Short and Sweet came out, that's been on repeat for me. I got a new watercolor paint set, so I just did some swatches and I talked about that a little bit. I've been wanting to paint a lot more, and I don't think I've painted once since like April or May-ish, which is a really long time for me. Normally I like to paint and do art like every week, but I just haven't in months. So this was a nice and safe, easy way for me to break out my paints and just do something very simple. And so that's what that is. This is another journal entry. I put together some covers that I was interested in, my like 2025, oh, I put 24, this is supposed to be 2025, but my wish list for the year and covers, and I actually ended up finding a cover on Mercari that is like a perfect culmination of all of these covers, which is kind of funny. I'll put it on the screen right now, but it's a cover from 2021, and I saw it and I loved it instantly. And then when I referenced this page again, I was like, oh my gosh, it literally looks like a perfect mix of like all of these. And I really like the yellow leather cover from Hobonichi and the water green, but part of me can't really justify spending that much money on a brand new cover. And then the yellow is almost a little too abrasive for me. And then I love the cafe cover that they did this year, but I'm not a zipper girly, and I just know probably like 2 weeks in, the zipper would really bother me. So I love a lot of like the colors and textures and styles this year, but I don't know, I know my brain well enough that it just wouldn't work. So I felt really lucky when I found that cover on Mercari, because it seems like a great mix of these, which was kind of cool. And then just one more painting that I did from a picture. I went to the library and found a book that had like furniture decorations and stuff like that, and I just found this picture of this chair that I really liked, and so I just did a quick little paint session, and then this was journaling from yesterday. So this is basically where we're at with that, and I think when you look at this, you can kind of tell that I'm very happy or maybe eager to write in these pages versus my previous book, when it kind of felt like a chore and I was kind of dreading writing in here. And the experience has been kind of the opposite in here. And I want to preface that I don't know if that's because it's Hobonichi launch. I don't know if it's because this is a brand new book and, you know, that brand new feeling, but I don't know, I'm being optimistic, and I know this has worked for me in the past, so I'm telling myself that the reason I'm writing in here and the reason that I want to practice art finally and, you know, experiment a little bit is because it's the cousin. And I think the size has a huge part in that. I think the idea of a small, cute book is very enticing to me, and I love the idea of it, but the practicality of it for me and my brain is not there. I feel like the bigger pages just give me a lot more room to breathe and make mistakes and experiment a little bit more compared to a small page when you're just really limited to what you can and can't do. So that's how journaling has been going back here. Again, it's been going great, and we're 1 week in, but I'm feeling really good about this. And then I will say the sands and paper is not my favorite still. I did do watercolor on this page, so like that's why this one is kind of like destroyed a little bit. The pen that I've been using, I switched my pen up again too. This is the Sharpie S Gel in 0.7, and I really enjoyed this pen. I think it's super smooth compared to the Energel Clena that I was using. It still ghosts, and there's maybe the tiniest amount of bleed through and like some of the little dots of certain words, but I do really like this pen. It doesn't smear when you highlight over it, which is great, and I think it's really just like an issue with the sands and paper, but it feels like a lot of planner companies are moving to sands and paper, so there's not really anything I can do about that. So I'm just trying to like get over it and just tell myself this is the new standard and just not compare it to the old paper. But that is the journaling. And then similar to my book last year, I have been using these very back pages for messy notes, random notes, video planning stuff. I did like a little mind map of my planner, my Hobonichi like definite and maybe list, and it has been very nice to have a space back here, a designated space to just do whatever. And so I obviously don't think I'm gonna use up all these pages, you know, the last 4 months we have in 2024. But yeah, I like having this space for that. That's something that I've done in the past that has worked really well for me, because I don't do a page per day. I only write in here when I'm kind of feeling like it. So I usually have a ton of extra pages in the back. So that is basically where we're at with the book. And I don't want to sound like a broken record and keep repeating it, but it feels really good. I feel like I'm in a good, safe space. It kind of feels like I have my emotional support book with me again, and that I can just like lean on her for anything. I forgot what video it was or who said it. If it was you that said it, please let me know so I can credit you. But I saw someone comment on a video the other day that was like, instead of one book July, I'm doing one book 2025. And I was like, that's so smart. And part of me really wants to do that. And maybe not one book 2025, because part of me has been debating getting a weeks for my Olympic job, because at that job, I am at a cubicle where like everyone can see into my desk and what I'm doing, and me just like having this open on my desk for like anyone to see, I don't love. My full-time like regular job, I have my own office, so I have a lot more privacy, but for my Olympic job I don't. And so part of me was thinking about getting a weeks that just like stays there, stays in my desk. It'll probably never be shown on YouTube. So I'm thinking about a cousin and a weeks, which isn't one book 2025, but it's kind of like one system, or like one purchase 2025 kind of. So I think for myself, what I'm currently planning on doing is just making one big purchase for this September launch, getting my 2025 books and just making it a goal and a priority not to stray from those, like no matter what. And I think that A5 gives me enough flexibility and like customization that I can work through my issues like I did in 2023. And then the only other, I guess, time I'll give myself that freedom to make purchases or accessory purchases will be in the spring launch, because I have a feeling they're gonna come out with covers that are super cute in the spring, because I didn't really love the ones that came out this year. And so I want to give myself like a little bit of wiggle room to make purchases, because cutting myself off completely never works out. So that is kind of where my head's at. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. If you guys are getting something at the September Hobonichi launch, I would love to know what you're getting. I think it's really cool to see everyone's preferences for the designs this year. I didn't love a lot of the designs, but it's cool to see everyone else really like them. And it's just one of my favorite parts about art in general, and just the planner community. So thank you guys very much for being here. Thank you again to Ana Luisa for sponsoring the video. Definitely, please go check their jewelry out. I promise you will not be disappointed. And again, if you want to use my link to help support me and this channel, please let me know if you do, so I can thank you. And I am so happy you guys are here. I appreciate your support so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.